evening, everyone. This is Evil Zone. Welcome to Citizen Sleeper, Part 5, not 4. For those paying attention, I actually put 4 in the Twitch stream title. Quickly updating this. So, today we're going to find out if running missions resets the counter for the chase of Lane trying to follow us and find us, or if that does not count as a space travel, because it said every time you leave a space station, the timer doesn't count, and also the counter gets reduced by 3. So today we're going to find out, and if not, we're going to find out what happens if Lane catches up with us. Does that mean game over? Hopefully that's not the case, or rather, even more importantly, hopefully that's not even going to happen, but instead, like I am hoping, the counter gets reduced and the clock doesn't tick while we're away from the space station on that mission. So without lots of yakking along, I will hit play on the game and we'll switch over to the gameplay screen. And then we're ready to play. I'll turn off the music. I don't think you can hear it anymore right now anyways. So, Star Wars Vector, Citizen Sleeper 2. It's weird. Now I have to yak on some more after all, but it feels a little bit weird. I on Monday, you know what? I'm yakking on. I might as well switch back to the yakking screen, right? So on this screen, it looks like I'm still in the spaceship, when in reality, I am not anymore, because on Monday, I started building a rig for myself for VR. I ordered a used car seat, and then I applied it to some wood, made some adjustments to it so that I can have armrests with the joysticks like I did on my office seat, but it's more comfortable this way. I've added a steering wheel right in front of me for when I'm driving vehicles in Elite Dangerous. The camera now has a better position, and especially when I'm streaming on my main channel, it's gone because it's no longer where it is right now, because now I'm still sitting in the spot where I used to sit when streaming Elite Dangerous, but I'm sitting in a different chair now, one that is way more comfortable. I can lean back, which if I do this now, it would ruin the effect of the background of my spaceship here. So I'll wait until I switch to the other screen. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. It looks, I'm not going to share any pictures for it because, first of all, I am in the basement of my living place, and I've just, pushed around some things to make my corner. A lot of people that actually stream themselves, and there's lots of memes about this online, whereas like the streaming space is all tidy, and then there is like a cone of tidiness, and everything around is cluttered, and that's pretty much it for this streaming space over here. And that is, like I said, because it's in the basement. Right now we have way too much stuff. Mostly my fault. I need to start decluttering, getting rid of some stuff, and maybe one day it'll be more habitable. But like I said, it's our storage room in the basement, so it's meant to be full of clutter. But even if there was no clutter, there's no point in showing a picture of the seat, because it looks terrible. It looks horrible. It's not aesthetically pleasing whatsoever. but it doesn't have to be because I'm playing in VR and I don't see it. And you don't see it as the audience either, so it doesn't matter. All it matters is it's comfy, it's way more convenient, and I'm happy with my decision. So, yeah. Um, so much for what is going on in my life. And like I said, the reason I'm mentioning this is because this now feels distinctly different from streaming in Elite Dangerous, and I like that. And it's a comfy chair. Um, it feels more like gaming used to feel when I was playing on the couch off stream. So that's great. So, like I said, I've been yakking on for way too long. Let's go back to the game screen and let's get this game started. Finally, I'll have to put a timestamp on YouTube on when the actual video starts because not everybody cares about the yakking. Some people just want to see the gameplay. So, like I said, let's get started. See, now I can lean back and play comfortably. All right. 27 cycles. We've already survived for 27 cycles. That's almost a month. On the one hand, I would like to call that quite the achievement. On the other hand, I have a feeling like we're not even 10% into the game. I may be mistaken about that, but no, that's what it feels like. We're still scratching the surface. Like we haven't even made use of the ability to soon travel where we want to do, open world style, as opposed to where the game tells us to go. We still have some dice left. Those dice are crappy and glitched, so we're not even gonna bother using them, but instead, hold on, actually, let's use one of them in hopes of breaking it so we can repair it. So we are going to go to the rig bunks. We have full supply, full fuel, and we're going to try that glitch die to rest and recover. Maybe it breaks. If it breaks, that's a good thing to know we can repair it. No, we got a positive outcome and it didn't break. Okay. Fair enough. So, onto the map, the hidden wreck. So as you can see, we are already 2 cycles into the hunt, and we get a -3, which in our case actually is a positive. That's why it's yellow. Whenever we travel. So I am curious now to find out whether traveling to a mission is considered travel. We'll see. The mission was from Eugen. Eugen has the location of a lost wreck that he says holds some priceless salvage. Is this a wild goose chase or a golden opportunity? Only one way to find out. -3 hunt during travel. So yeah, apparently I was correct. That's awesome. All right. Okay, Eugen is locked in. Makes sense because he was the one giving us the job. And we have the option to take Bliss with us. Bliss is mechanically able. Actually, yeah, if you look at the skills, they complement each other. And then we'll go make travel. Travel to contract. And I should get into the habit of like watching a quick recap of my previous streams because I have a feeling Eugen is going to have a different voice today than he did last time. I'll try my best to remember though. Off we go. This is not what you promised. Seraphin turns to Eugen with a raised eyebrow. Looking out across the field of debris scattered around the small asteroid whose gravity has kept them there, you have to agree. Where do you even start looking? Eugen shrugs, unfazed. I said the wreck was hidden. Transponder off. No flight records. I didn't say it was intact. If it was an easy job, I wouldn't have come with your crew. Could have just grabbed it myself, he winks. We all earn our share. That's definitely more than one wreck. Bliss is leaning towards the window, staring out at the glinting debris. I see at least 3, maybe 4 different engine housings out there. Seraphin sighs. You really think there's something of value to be pulled from all that? I know there is. My tip-off is good. We just need to find the right part. He looks out at the wide field of debris. Of the right ship. Any clues? What I know is that a wreck with an item of great value is out there. That's it. He unstraps from his seat. Are you all afraid of some hard work? Is that it? Seraphin starts laughing. So you're telling me we don't know what we're looking for, where it is, or what it's worth. Trust me or don't, Eugen shrugs. This will be worth your while. This is a hot tip. Sleeper, please. Seraphin turns to you, exasperated. Suddenly, a percussive beep interrupts the conversation. All of you turn your attention toward Seraphin's terminal. What the? He taps a few keys. We've got an incoming ship. Their transponder just popped up. See? Eugen smiles. What did I say? A hot tip. We better claim it before they do. He jabs a finger at the readout. What have you got us into? Eugen looks innocent. I've given you a head start on a big haul. Don't waste it. I see a few obvious sights. Large bits of debris, clear hull sections. We should focus on those. Bliss unclips from their seat and glides out of the cockpit. See you lucky kids in the airlock. Ready, Cap? Eugen slaps you on the shoulder and kicks off through the cockpit. Turn to Seraphin. I don't like that guy. Seraphin shakes his head. Give him a chance. Seraphin turns his back to his terminal. Hey, you're the one who has to go out there with him. Look, Seraphin glances back over his shoulders. Just be careful. You nod and glide through the cockpit door, already trying to map the scattered debris in your mind. Oh, there's a lot of locations. Transponder signal. Signs of incoming ship. Okay, this is probably nothing we can do about it. It just means we have two rounds before. Let me put the keyboard up here. We have 2 rounds before that vessel appears. Seraphin is the technical transponder of an incoming ship. Who's on your trail and what do they want? Now, I doubt it is the people trailing us, and I think it might be some kind of criminal organization, pirate style ship sent by the same people that told Eugen to go get that cargo. We have our ship, a crushed shuttle, a failed escape. Shuttle access. Getting into this shuttle will take some work, but you swear you see the blinking light of a terminal inside. We can slice the door, we can hack the door. I'm good at hacking. Bliss is good at slicing. Bliss actually has pretty good dice today. But let's look on. What do we have here? Scattered wrecks. Wreck hunting. Finding Eugen's wreck means searching the debris field in the hope of uncovering it, if it even exists. Dive the debris. Eugen's good at that, and I'm good at analyzing the debris. And then we have the pitted asteroid. Scavenger's Hall. There has to be something of worth amongst the remains that dot the asteroid. You just have to find it. Okay, this is clear the wreckage and search the wreckage. I guess this is just salvaging, just like getting extra. The scattered wrecks sounded like that's where we need to go. What's with the crushed shuttle, though? Curiosity killed the cat, right? But I want to know what's in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. We might be able to get this round. What does the other one look like again? Scattered wrecks. That takes way longer. So it's definitely, if at all, going to be one or the other before the other ship arrives. Decisions. Maybe the ship is on its way to uncover the failed escape. And we can get on their good side if we check the shuttle, or we get on their bad side. Well, since there's no objections, I'm just going to do the crushed shuttle. Curiosity killed the cat. Who cares? All right, slice the door. Bliss, your job. The shuttle's airlock won't budge. The fastest way through is to cut it. But with the shuttle's thick armor, it's a tough job for skilled hands. Well, fortunately, Bliss is skilled. I'll do the job, no problem. Neutral outcome. Shuttle access. Bliss got some stress. The door comes away in big chunks of molten metal. It's dangerous work. All right, let's try again. All right then, Captain. Positive. Oh, that's 3 points. I can fix anything. Section of the door tumbles away into the black. Almost there. All right, and those last 3 I can get done by hacking the door. I get a plus. You know what? I can use the 5 and then get an automatic success, which gives us 3. It's not going to give us 3 points on interface, though, I assume. So let's just use one of the other ones. Hack the door. Shuttle access, neutral outcome, 1 point. Something clicks within the mechanism. It's slow progress, but with patience, it'll work. And now we'll take the automatic success to give us 2 points, and then we got it. The airlock is open. Time to see what waits inside. Shuttle interior. That's a new action. Scrape the terminals. I can do that. The others can't. Let's reroll 4 random dice, not 3. A 5 is not bad, right? So let's roll the 4. Let's roll the 4 and then re-roll the other 2. Banks of terminals line the shuttle interior. Perhaps there is something useful hidden on their decaying drives. Data trawl. Terminal starts up its screen, flickering chaotically. There must be something there. This shuttle might have the data you need, but extracting it means systematically working through its system. All right, I'm going to re-roll the dice. Okay, that was good. That was really good. Because those are 200% positives. The terminal displays a file directory, most of which is corrupted, but among the dull icons, something glows. All right. And the next round, well, we'll see. Okay. Terminal displays a file directory. Now we could could let Eugen do one as well. 50% neutral, 50% negative. Let's just try. Let's just give it a try. It's risky, but it may be worth it. Yeah, neutral outcome. Perfect. A cipher is transferred, an access code for the ship the shuttle departed from. Now, just to find where that ship is. Haha, I see. So we've basically now got the codes to get into the ship. But we still need to find it. So we still need to do the scattered wrecks. All right. So I'm guessing there is no way to get this done without the ship showing up. Now Eugen's going to dive the debris. Rather than scanning, the direct approach to finding the wreck could be as simple as kicking off into the debris field and hunting it down. Wreck hunting. Finding Eugen's wreck means searching the debris field in the hope of uncovering it, if it even exists. All right, Eugen, do your thing. No problem. That was too easy. The debris fields reveal itself to be a complex puzzle of ship pieces. It can be mapped. 3 points. That's awesome. All right, all of our dice have been used up. That was a very efficient round. Now, time to end the cycle. I got some really good dice again. Well, not all of them, but some of them. Let's head over to the scatter wrecks. Let Eugen do some more wreck diving. 50% chance of a positive, no problem. Oh. It is dangerous, but exploring the debris yields a clear understanding of its distinct areas. That gave us another 2 points and some stress on Eugen's part. Bliss is not that helpful here, but we'll try. Bliss is going to analyze the debris. This cloud of shattered ships is hard to piece together. Some careful scanning and analysis should help with that. Actually, let me do that first because I can get 200% goals. And then we'll see, because who knows what we have to do afterwards, and maybe Bliss will be more useful for that. So that's 100% positive. A scan identifies one of the ships from its remains. It looks like it was blasted open from the inside. All right, let's do it again. Three points left. Now, we could ignore all the positive negatives on this and use the glitch die and hope for good luck. 20% chance of getting a positive, 80% chance of getting a negative. The die is pretty healthy too. Or I could re-roll now. Am I feeling lucky today? Am I a gambler? I think so. 20% chance. Fingers crossed. No. Double stress. The debris field is a whirling cloud of razor-sharp shards. Exploring is a terrible idea. Okay. Oh, that's not good. And the twos is a 25% chance of a negative outcome. So we're going to re-roll those dice. All right, there's an automatic success right there. Not enough to get us over the edge, but between two dice, we might get it done. Let's do the 4 first. Positive outcome. Scan identifies one of the ships from its remains. It looks like it was blasted open from the inside. All right, and then the automatic success from my dice is going to bring us over the edge. Perfect. Man. You find a wreck that is like a likely candidate based on what Eugen knows. Time to investigate. I'm surprised we're breezing through this today. I hope I'm not being too confident right now. Last time we did 2 missions in one day. The first one was super easy, and then the next one really blasted us. I hope that's not going to happen today again, but we'll see. How are we on time? Oh, we still have plenty of time. So, let's see where it takes us. A new mission. See, that's what I assumed. And now, hopefully, Eugen's wreck. Hopefully. Oh, no. We just unlock it with the cipher. The wreck's outer door is sealed and reinforced. The only way in will be with an access cipher. Perhaps there's one elsewhere? Yeah, we already found it. Boom. Easy money. The wreck's doors grind open to a dark and dusty interior. Time to head in. Oh, we're still not done. Wreck cargo bay. You kidding me? More to do. All right. Unsealing secret. This must be the wreck Eugen wanted to find. You wonder what valuable treasures wait inside its cargo bay. The wreckage blocking the cargo bay door is a mess. Clearing it will be slower than cutting, but safer. Or slice the wreckage. The only thing that lies between you and the wreck's cargo bay is a pile of wreckage. Slicing through will be quick but dangerous. Well, Bliss is good at it, and Bliss has an automatic success die. So let's do it. Oh, that was pretty fun. The wreckage is sliced and put aside. You can see the cargo bay doors, almost there. All right, Eugen, 50-50. Oh, 25. 25. Oh, you'll do it. You'll do it. You got plenty of stress left to take. Neutral outcome. The wreck comes away slice by slice, but it's sharp and hot at the cut points and hard to handle in the enclosed space. All right, and Eugen is going to try and clear the doors. You can count on me. Oh, pile of wreckage is hard to handle in the enclosed space. Its edges razor sharp. That just hurt him. All right. Now, with all dies used up, time to take a rest, and then we're going to find out what happens when that ship arrives. Let me just check. I think I have 3 points to unlock skills, but I think we've already unlocked all the skills at this price tag. Yeah. So we need to get one more before we can start unlocking more. So let's end the cycle, find out what happens. Eugen, you piece of shit, where are you? The distorted voice rattles through the ship as you are all finishing your breakfast in the mess. Everyone turns to look at Eugen, Seraphin already shaking his head. Vesna, he says under his breath. You suddenly recall the steel-eyed captain who confronted Eugen in the gyre back on the far spindle. See, I knew it. Open this airlock before I do something I'll regret. As her voice echoes through the room, you realize she must be at the rig's entry lock, using the comms panel out there to speak into the ship. Eugen. He shoots you a resigned look. We should let her in. You kick off towards the door, but Seraphin drifts between you and the exit. Sleeper, you sure about this? You can see he's angry, but is also looking to you for reassurance. Relax, I've got this. Do I? Seraphin raises an eyebrow. I like your confidence, Sleeper, but the moment this starts to go south, he shoots Eugen a glance. We're booting them both out. Eugen follows you as you glide down to the airlock and hit the control for the exterior door. Let me handle her. Eugen gives you a nod. This is my ship. He raises his hands in submission and drifts back a little. You watch as the airlock cycles and you see the silhouette of Vesna through the viewing window as she removes the helmet of her suit. You prepare yourself for whatever comes next, hoping that Seraphin is somewhere nearby. Thank you. Vesna floats through the airlock door, her eye implants making it hard to read her expression. I prefer not to have to stand outside banging on the door. She turns to Eugen, seeing him behind you. But I also prefer it when my contractors don't try to screw me over. What do you want? She smiles. I want, she pauses, what I asked for. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and assume you don't know what you've got yourself in the middle of here. She speaks plainly with little emphasis. But if you make a move, we're going to have some trouble. This slimy shit here, she jerks her chin towards Eugen, got these coordinates thanks to my tip-off and was meant to deliver them to me. She smiles and shakes her head. That was the deal. But instead, he thought he'd come and claim the prize for himself and bring you fools along for the ride. Don't insult me on my ship. Vesna gathers herself. You are right, but I'm sure you can see I've been wronged here. That's not on me. Tell whatever stories you want, Vesna. Until I am paid, there's no deal. Eugen smiles. Did you pay me, Vesna? Vesna looks frustrated. You know as well as I do that payment was on receipt of the coordinates. Well, sorry to say I won't be able to deliver, Eugen shrugs. Deal's off. You piece of shit. Vesna's hand goes to her hip. Now, you are a guest on this ship. Seraphin's voice comes from somewhere behind you. Let's all remember that. You turn back to see Seraphin holding a hull bolter at his waist, its wide muzzle trained on Vesna. Vesna lets her hand go loose at her side, abandoning her threat. Of course, she sighs. I thought you might all see the breach of trust in this situation, but I was wrong. I don't want to escalate this. On that, we are agreed. She backs a little towards the airlock door. Eugen, she looks at the freelancer. Don't think I'll back off. My team can find this thing faster than any mongrel crew. She smiles. First to the prize takes all. May the better crew win. She smiles. Indeed. Vesna slips back into the airlock and hits the control panel. The doors scissor shut. Now I gotta say, I'm not happy with this outcome because from the conversation last time we played, it sounded like she was supposed to get whatever we find with the coordinates. So not only did Eugen screw over her, he pulled us in, well, not necessarily under false pretenses, but definitely by telling half-truths. And I'm not happy with that. I'm not happy that he screwed over Vesna. And now I'm no longer sure if I want him on my crew because, if you screw over one person, who's to say you're not going to screw over the next person, which would be me? So, with the turn of events the way they are, I'm going to finish this mission with him. But I think that's where we part ways. Eugen suddenly tumbles forward as something hits him in the side of the head. Idiot! Seraphin stands behind Eugen, having swung the heavy muzzle of the hull bolter directly into his head. If you ever put this crew in danger like that again, Seraphine's right. Eugen catches himself on the wall. It's okay. He wipes a little blood from his forehead. I get it. That was sloppy. No, it wasn't sloppy. It was you betraying our trust. Your whole thing is sloppy. Seraphine bristles. This is how you get yourself killed. As much as I am enjoying this display of aggression and idiocy, Bliss's voice comes from behind you all. We still have a contract to complete. They push past to start suiting up, and now we have competition. We should leave. Seraphine slings the hull bolter onto his shoulders. Cut our losses. Now wait. Eugen wipes the corner of his mouth with the back of his hand. All this and you are going to give up and turn tail? Eugen is right. We've almost got it. Shit, Seraphine sighs. You are right. All right. He glides over to Eugen and pats him on the shoulder. Time for you to prove your worth. I'll be watching. And the dice are looking favorable. Eugen got this. No, wait, danger? Well, Eugen doesn't have it, but between him and Bliss, we're gonna get it for sure. So actually, let's have Bliss do first. See how many points we have left. Slice the wreckage. If it's broke, I'll fix it. The wreck comes away slice by slice, but it's sharp and hot, and the cut points and hard to handle in close space. And now Eugen can clear the doors. The wreckage is cleared. Time to open her up. That's how I do it. The cargo bay doors shudder open in silence as Eugen levers them apart. Now, Eugen knew about the coordinates to this place, and the other party wanted those coordinates. Were they looking for the same thing, though? This is it, the final layer to pull back before you reach Eugen's mysterious rise. You can't help but feel a little excited. There's also a sense of satisfaction to the idea that you beat Vesna's crew to the wreck. You found it, you cracked it open, and now you will be the one to reap the rewards. I'm not going to bask in that success. I'm going to focus on the job because I'm not happy with this. The doors are open, enough for a person to glide through now. Beyond, there is only the darkness of the cargo bay. You follow Eugen in, the headlamps on your suit lighting his back and the dusty void beyond. You see the boxes appear as if by magic out of the dark. Eugen glides past them. Does he not see them? You stop and take a look at the loot. A stack of 4 sealed boxes sit in the middle of the bay, their armored exteriors caked in dust. You wipe it away and squint at the aging label. They look like industrial ship components, still sealed, totally untouched. In the belt, where most tech has been through hundreds of hands, patched up and reconfigured, this is a solid hull. But not the kind of hull that gets crews fighting over it. Something doesn't add up. They aren't here. Eugen's voice crackles through the radio. Where are you? Back wall of the bay. Come see. You kick off from the crates and glide through the dark until you see Eugen, the back wall of the cargo bay, and something that confuses you for a second. A black shape, a ragged circle around Eugen. You squint. Inside it, tiny little lights twinkle. It takes you a moment, but you slowly realize that you are looking through a hole in the wall to the stars beyond. Someone beat us to it. His voice is flat. They are long gone. Are you serious? Look for yourself, he points. This happened a while ago. They punched in and took it. What was it? Eugen turns back to you, his face pale in your torch headlights. He seems to be lost for words. Folks? Bliss's voice comes through the suit comms channel. I've got Seraphin telling me Vesna's crew are heading this way. So, whatever you got in there, if you want to keep it, grab it and get out now. I'm already heading for the rig. I'll get the cargo bay open and prep for your arrival. They pause. Don't dwaddle. Go now. Take one last look. No, we're gonna go now. Eugen suddenly seems to regain his focus. The crates, he nods. Let's grab them and go. You glide back across the bay, your mind still racing with questions. Something about Eugen's reaction tells you he knew what he was expecting to find there. If that is the case, you think it's yet another lie he's told you. You both reach the crates and quickly lash them together, guiding them weightlessly out of the room between you. As you do, you meet eyes with Eugen, and he looks away. I really hope you two idiots are on your way back, Seraphin chirps over the radio, because Vesna's boys are just about to reach that wreck you're on. We're inbound, Eugen quickly responds, then clicks his radio off. Well, Seraphin continues. Tell me then, what ancient and powerful treasure did you find in that thing? Gold? A Conway warhead? Nothing much. You better be joking, Seraphin pauses. I'm not in the mood. You cross the debris field of the ship in silence, your eyes on the scrap for a sign of Vesna's crew. You don't think they'd ambush you, but then again, you wouldn't put it past them. As you reach the cargo bay and guide the crates through the open door, you shoot Eugen a final glance. Give me time, he says quietly over the radio. I'll explain in time. You consider pressing him, even shouting at him, but you realize there will be plenty of time for that on the journey back to the far spindle. For now, you just want to get out of here. We could at least search for some salvage here, though, with the last remaining dice. Search the wreckage. Simplest way to work out what is of value here is what the trash is to search the entire airstrip. It will be slow but safe. Yeah, let's do that. Section by section, the asteroid is mapped. This will take some time. I don't think we can even get this done. 2, 3. Yeah, no. Let's call it quits. We're not going to spend more time here. So we're just going to, go back. Leave the contract. Eugen has spent the journey back to the far spindle, avoiding Seraphin as best he can. It might be that he is afraid, but you get the feeling it's more likely that he's been making himself scarce out of a genuine sense of regret. Alright, I guess our character is being more emphatic towards Eugen than I am. Seraphin, however, doesn't see his behavior so favorably. Slimy shit. Won't even show his face. Seraphin complains loudly as he finalizes docking. Put us in a spacer's crew's sights with no care for anyone but himself. Agreed. Seraphin turns to reply, but as he does, you see his eyes jump to the door behind you. You hear the rustle of movement behind your head and turn to see Eugen in the cockpit's doorway, a rare, serious expression on his face. I owe you all an explanation. His voice is low and steady. Believe it or not, this was not my plan. Yeah, your plan was to find the loot in that wreck and split with it, wasn't it, big man? Seraphin glares at Eugen. No, Eugen gives him a tired look. It wasn't. Hear him out, Seraphin. Bliss cuts in from the back of the cockpit. Vesna has been searching for a ship. Eugen looks over your heads at the far spindle. An infamous ship. Seemed like she already had a ship, Seraphin interrupts. That was part of the problem. Not a rig. Eugen looks down towards him. A fraction drive ship. An interstellar ship. That seems to shut Seraphin up, and you don't blame him. An interstellar ship here in the belt? That's tech from the core systems. Why didn't you say? I shouldn't even be telling you now, Eugen frowns. Word gets out that there's a factory-fresh fraction ship somewhere in the belt. People kill for less. He shakes his head. Gangs kill for much less. You're telling me there's a fraction ship there no one has ever found that's been sitting here since when? Seraphin shakes his head. Since the collapse? Hold off for a second. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. I'm back. I thought there was a knock on my door. You're telling me there's a fraction ship that no one has ever found that's been sitting here since when? Seraphin shakes his head. Since the collapse? Believe it or not, that's exactly it. Eugen looks to you. Vesna put me on the trail. She wanted me to find its location for repayment. He looks away. An old debt. But the moment I found the data that verified its existence, that confirmed the ship was out there, I couldn't give it to her. And that's when you found me. Why keep it from her? Eugen folds his arms. You may have met Vesna, but you don't know her. Eugen meets your eye. She's one of the last people in the belt who should have a ship like that. Well, no one has the ship now, if it even exists. Need I remind you that it wasn't there? Seraphin shrugs. Your data was a bust. No, Eugen shakes his head. It was there once. Those wrecks, those were the ships that fought over the fraction ship. A bunch of Solheim corporates who wanted to get out of the system when it all came down. And that ship was their ticket. The Aphelion Path. Eugen looks out at the far spindle. It was there. But someone moved it, hid it, long before we got there. Leave the belt? Sign me up. Eugen laughs. You and me both, Sleeper. Eugen inhales, long and deep. I am sorry, Sleeper. He looks at Bliss and Seraphin. And to you both as well. I wanted to keep the secret. I wanted to find the Aphelion Path, and I knew that if I did, you would understand. Still, I was wrong to manipulate you. He bows his head. But I'm not done. He raises his head, his gaze hard now. I will find the ship, and I will leave the belt. How will you do that? Seraphin shoots him a sly look. With no ship of your own, and Vesna at your back. Eugen ignores him and moves closer to you. Sleeper, I will uphold our deal. I will serve on your crew, and when I have news of the Aphelion, you will know. How can I trust you? Only you can answer that, Sleeper. Eugen sighs. I would give you my word if it was worth anything. Seraphin turns to you. I know. I always say it, but this time you have to listen, Sleeper. Seraphin gestures to Eugen. This guy is no good. I've known his type. Don't bring him. This can be your escape too, Sleeper. Eugen meets your eye. See, I said I don't want him. I said I want to get rid of him. But now, he's mentioned this ship. And with this ship, we're going to get far out of reach of our pursuers. But we would make a new enemy, Vesna. But, karma is a bitch. And so, instead of turning somebody away who's in need of help, even if he's not trustworthy, we'll just have him around for now. Be wary so that he doesn't double cross us. But if there's a chance to get into grasp, get the ship into our grasp, make her a big escape, it might be worth it. Okay, you're in. Seraphin sighs, getting up from his seat. You've got a lot to prove. He passes close to Eugen as he leaves. You better get on with it. All right, see? So even Seraphin giving him a chance. Eugen meets his eye but says nothing. Once Seraphin is gone, he looks to you and nods. Thank you. He turns and leaves too. Quite the ragtag group we have here. Blizz nudges past you. I know you understand what a second chance means for you, Sleeper. They smile. But I'm glad to see you understand that others need the same. They slip out before you can respond. You stare out the cockpit at the lights of the far spindle. You hope Eugen understands his mistake. And you hope even harder that Vesna doesn't hold a grudge, even though you know for a fact she does. You sigh. The bunks are going to need expanding at this rate. Sleeper, Seraphin catches your attention as you go to leave the ship. Can I have a minute? Of course. Seraphin ducks into a maintenance passage and waits for you to follow. In the narrow passage framed by loose wires and thick conduits, Seraphin looks suddenly small, trapped. He looks at an open circuitry panel as he speaks, avoiding your gaze. You see he's playing with a coin in his hand, nervously spinning it in the air. Since we cleared Hexport, I've been putting feelers out for something. He rubs his hands nervously. I've been in the belt a long time, and I came here alone. But back on Darkside, just before we made a break for it, I heard something. I heard someone was looking for me. He pauses, trying to organize his thoughts. Isn't one bounty enough? Seraphin smiles. I don't think it's a bounty. I also heard something else. They said the person looking for me claimed to be my sister. He waits for your reaction. I don't think it's going to be a ruse because this was before we made our escape. You have a sister? I did, yeah, or I do. He shakes his head. But I don't even know if it's really her. Just because someone says they're my sister, well, I can't be sure. The thing is, I haven't seen my sister in a long time. I was still a kid when I left. So was she. Though I don't think she would have liked to admit it at the time. She smiles to himself. I know you don't remember how it was, back in Darkside, I mean, he sighs. But we were alone, you and me. Lane didn't let us out much, just to work, and that was all. So when I overheard one of his guys mention someone was sniffing around trying to find me, I didn't know what to think. He frowns. And then, hearing it could have been my sister, he goes quiet. You try to recall that time. The cycles spend under Lane's influence, working for him in exchange for stabilizer. You close your eyes, focus, but the details flicker. The images collapse and reform. Has Seraphin told you this before? Was this all part of your plan? Wait. This isn't why you helped me escape. Yes, he shrugs. It changed things for me. The thought that she could be out there. Don't get me wrong, I wanted to get you out of here, there too. He pauses, and you sense he is finding this difficult. I know it doesn't matter now, but I told you about her back then, before. I'm sorry, I don't remember. It's okay, Sleeper, I understand. Since we got away, since Hexport, I've been asking around, speaking to spacers, traders, and like I said, something has finally come up. It seems whoever was trailing me left Darkside pretty soon after Utsobu caught wind of her sniffing around. I doubt they made her feel very welcome. But I managed to get a name. The name she gave Lutz wasn't my sister's, but but that doesn't mean much. It gave me something to follow. She bounced around the wash a little. Far spindle flotsam, not sure why. He squints at a loose wire. The last thing she did was book passage to Wellspring on a low-tick freighter. That's it. Could have helped. I wanted something concrete, something clear. You want to help? Now's your chance. I want to go to Wellspring, Sleeper, to know if it's really her, and if it isn't, to settle what needs settling. Let's do it. I think Wellspring is where we wanted to go anyways. Thank you, Sleeper. He meets your eye. I will admit it has been strange, reminding myself that everything we talked about back on Darkside, everything we did, it's lost now. He smiles. But I'm glad to see you are still you. Whatever that means. I'm not sure I know who I am. Me neither, he smiles. Anyway, better get back to it. Seraphin squeezes past you in the corridor and glides back towards the engine room. You watch him go, wondering if your past together can ever be reclaimed. Your mind wanders to thoughts of Seraphin's sister. For a moment, you wonder what it is like to have family, and if you will ever know. Okay. So, we didn't make any money with this, I think. So we're gonna refuel. We're gonna refill our supplies. And then we're gonna work. We're gonna go to work. Let's do the signal station. Interpret signals and align arrays, just because we can. No, I don't like the odds of that. Here, let's go with this. The signal station searches for signals in the far spindle's local region. Sorting them is too much work for just the crew. Let's help them out. You separate out the errant signals from the potentially interesting ones. You are paid well enough for what you identify. All right, so it's just a way to gain money. Align arrays. The signal station makes use of the network of arrays across the far spindle. Synchronizing them is specialist work. All right. Got some money for that as well. Working with the arrays means being delicate and structured in your requests. You manage to get them to respond. We're not hungry, we're not stressed out. I guess this is as good as any a time to move on. And the drive was, we want to get our frame diagnosed in Flotsam. We want to go to Wellspring for Seraphin's sister. And we want to investigate Hexport. Cadet in the scatter yards. So Wellspring is up here. Holmes Rock. Flotsam. And then we'll slowly make our way to Wellspring. Hellion Gate. Scatter Yards is over there. So we would need, from Flotsam, we can get there with this weird drive to get the Hasnav. And I think the Hasnav is up in Wellspring. So we're going to go to Flotsam, then we're going to go from Holmes Rock over to Wellspring, and then down back to the Scatter Yards. At least this is the plan for now. How are we looking on time? We have a little bit more time. We'll keep going. So let's make our way over to Flotsam now, because we can. Or should we make some more money here? Because our pursuers are right now sitting at 0, I would think. Oh no, they're sitting at 1. We could do 2 more rounds here and then travel. Oh, we can have them do. We can have Eugen and Bliss do money, fuel, or supplies. Let's keep them on the money. That's a good thing. Spindle's Edge. That was the sealing shift. Then we're not going to do that. Scrapper ship. This is where we can do a scrap shift. That's also not for us. One thing we're definitely going to do at the rig is we're going to repair my die. This will do their best to repair the dice. Alright, oh, we have 3 more of these. That's good. Okay. And now... Gaia's Geyer. You can buy just food there. I thought there was one more place. Is it the Beltborn Venture? Yeah, we can try to become a gambler's friend by doing venture bar shifts. I'm sorry that I have to pause the game yet again, but I need to take a quick bio break. I'll be right back. All right, I guess I'll have to do way more editing on this episode than on any of the previous ones, but hey, that's okay. Sorry about that. So let's do a shift at the venture bar. It's risky, but that's okay. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? We're going to get more hungry. Stress. I think stress only happens on missions. And if not, we're going to find out now. The chits change hands and you keep the drinks coming, resulting in a few being thrown your way. Not bad. Hey, that was the best outcome we could get. Neutral, because we only had neutral and negative. Let's keep it flowing. Hey, another one. All right. Cool. We're going to take rest. We're going to try some more next cycle. Oh, those dice don't look good at all. Oh well. Let's go. Only vouch for members can gamble on the venture, but bar shifts are easy to come by, mostly because they pay in tips a little more. Positive. You managed to find a big winner and they tip well before security comes to ask them a few difficult questions. Can we get that a second time? Let's find out. No, negative. Oh, we lose energy. See, that's what I said. We just lose energy. We still make money. A dreary cycle full of desperate and angry drunks. Even when you get a customer, you don't feel much like chatting. All right, 20% positive, 8%, 80% negative. We made a lot of, not a lot of money, but we made it 23 credits already. So, you know, we can just get more food and then we're even again. Okay, negative, a dreary cycle. 50-50. Another dreary cycle. Okay, next one we're going to be starving. That's when we start accumulating stress. Neutral. All right. Chits change hands. You keep the drinks coming. And we're going to stay one more cycle to get this done. See where it takes us. See what happens. Maybe. Gambler's Frame. Who knows? Maybe we meet Han Solo. Or Lando Calrissian. But what we do need to do is we need to go to Gaia's Gyre and spend some of our chips to buy cupcakes for 12. All right. Full energy again. See? That's what I'm saying. And we still made a net gain of 22. So that works out. Let's go back to the rig. One more cycle before we leave. Because, you know, what's the point? If we reduce the hunt by 3 points every time we travel, we might as well make sure that we're already 3 bars into the clock, because otherwise we're kind of like wasting opportunities. And so long as we make advancements, be it credits or whatever, I think that's probably the better move than to rush through and then realize at some point, oh, we don't have enough money or enough whatever is needed to get things done. So let's take a look. Let's do another venture bar shift. We'll take the good die. Maybe now there's even a 50% chance to get a positive outcome. Let's see. Nope, neutral. That's okay. We'll take another one. Ooh, that was a negative outcome. 25% chance for that. A dreary start cycle. That one I didn't see coming. And now we might not even make it. Oh well, is what it is. Let's keep trying. Oh. Lots of bad luck. An entire cycle of bad luck. Well, at least we made enough money to buy our food again and come out with a net positive. We can always come back to this station, though. Really? Am I gonna risk it? Spend another cycle here? No. No, we said we're gonna depart. That's what we're gonna do. So off to Flotsam we go. Yes, confirm. Off we go. It's hard to tell where Flotsam ends and the ships parked at its many docking bridges begin. As Seraphin docks with the station, you realize that the rig now looks like just another piece of accumulated technology. One more bit of driftwood added to the raft. I love this place. Seraphin smiles as he shuts down the engines. You never know what you'll find. Been here before? Yeah. Back when I first came to the belt. The crew I signed on with used to run salvage jobs out of here. Fun place to spend your wages. You see Bliss eyeing the station with what looks like both horror and fascination. You see the seals? They point out at some twisted assemblage of ship parts. Total cowboy welds. They could pop any moment. Seraphin waves away their concerns. Well, that's just the outer layer. I heard there's 6 or 7 in all, so if one fails, it's no problem. He stretches and turns to you. You've got to taste some of the stuff they grow in old Takahe. He kisses his fingers. That's the good shit. Oh, great, Bliss sighs. So many layers of redundancy and fallbacks that you have no hope of isolating a leak and fixing it. They rap on the wall of the rig. Sounds like a ship I know. Nah, you don't talk shit about our ship like that. You're part of our crew now. Come on. Seraphin joins in. The two of you shoulder to shoulder. She got you out here, didn't she? He shrugs at Bliss. No sense of gratitude. I was joking. Bliss looks a little hurt and drifts out of the cockpit, shaking their head. You go to follow, but Seraphin puts a hand on your shoulder. Sleeper. He looks suddenly serious. Remember what I said about getting checked out? There are artificers all over this place. It'll take a bit of searching, but we need to know what's going on with you. He meets your eye. That's why we're here. Good. Seraphin nods. Let me know what they say. I'm gonna go see if any of my old haunts are still open. He drifts out of the cockpit with a mock salute. Catch you later. You're left alone in the cockpit with a view of Flotsam's chaotic structure. You look over the multicolored plating. It does, you admit, have a certain charm. All right, there's only one place to start off right now, the Flotsam Hub. Flotsam Explorer. Learning the chaotic structures of Flotsam from corridor to ship and back again takes time. We can explore Flotsam, which is risky, a ramshackle assemblage of decommissioned ships and wrecks. To call Flotsam labyrinthine is a serious understatement. Or we can analyze structure. Flotsam is made from maybe hundreds of ships, gathered and modified over time. A good engineer might be able to identify them. Okay. So, before we do any of that, we now have 4 points. Now we can game the system, we can improve our Intuit, or we could get rid of the -2s on engineer. Let's take a look. We could upgrade engineer, and then we have no more skills we're crap at, or we could improve our engage or Intuit, or we could even focus on interface and make it even better. Can we take a look at our crew at the ship somehow? Is there a way? Oh yeah. So Eugen has engage and endure, and Bliss has engineer and intuit. I was about to say I'm going to take engage because nobody has it, but that means they have it. Like all skills, like the one skill they're missing is the one I'm good at. So right now they are a perfect complement to my skill set. But I don't think I'm going to hone in on that. I think I'm just going to, because we need Intuit right now, I'm going to actually take Intuit. Yeah, confirm the upgrade. And then we'll look at improving interface again next time. All right, let's go and search Flotsam with a plus now. We discovered a new location. You stumble on a main thoroughfare that cuts through the spine of multiple stacked vessels. You follow the crowds. All right, let's take a look what we found. We found the narrow escape, a crashed ship turned bar. We can take a recovery contract there. Stranded rig. My rig's blown its propulsion and I'm stranded on some god's forsaken rock. Repair crew needed. We'll split hull. No time wasters or thieves. I'm armed. Get scrap components and recover. We need to recover a stranded rig. And we can buy a meal here. I don't think we should be taking a contract right now. We need to find those doctors first, those artificers. So we're going to explore Flotsam some more. Positive outcome. All right, we follow the crowd some more. And let's see what happens next. Negative. Ooh. Drifting from corridor to corridor, you find yourself totally lost in the dark and draftly derelict. Time to double back. But that's okay, we still got a +1, which means we are still going to finish the Flotsam Explorer this round. But we found a new location, the Ferris Tanker. Okay, here we can refuel and we can buy Scrap components. Okay. No way to make money on this place yet. Let's continue. Negative outcome. That's okay. We double back, and now we're going to get 100% success. Flotsam has grown on you quickly. There's nowhere else in the belt quite like it. The chaos of Flotsam intrigues you. Passage to passage, it is the most incoherent place you've ever visited. Plating, cladding, and cushioning of all kinds of conditions hides a forest of wires and ducts, interfacing in ways their manufacturers would never dream possible. Rooms are crushed cargo bays, flipped bridges, and eviscerated engine rooms. Patchwork corridors are lumpen with messy welds, bending worryingly along their length. It is, to put it nicely, a total mess. It's not that you don't like it, but finding an artificer amongst this chaos has been more than a little challenging. This cycle, searching these winding passages once more, seeing only scrap merchants and junk shops, you've begun to wonder if Seraphin had any idea what he was talking about when he advised you to come here. A sleeper. A voice cuts through the pungent air. Well, I never. You glance in the voice's direction and find yourself looking at a small booth piled with tech. Behind a fogged and scratched plastic screen is a meticulously arranged counter, the only clear spot in sight. At it, an older man with wet and wandering eyes sits neatly. Jean-Mi, strange artificer, approached the booth. Jean-Mi tilts his head. I didn't mean to be rude, please. And he bows a little. Stay silent. How? He pauses, taking care with his speech now. How are you feeling, sleeper? He beckons you a little closer. I am Jean-Michel, though please, to you, Jean-Mi. I work with machines. He sweeps the hand above his counter where you see configurations of tiny parts, mostly small ones. He smiles. I'm not great. Of course. He chops with his hand to indicate a stool with a leg bar, meant for perching beside his counter, and such is the clarity and persuasiveness of his movement that you obligingly sit. Your presence is a rare honor here. He smiles and looks down into his lap. I'm sorry if I make you uncomfortable. I'm just very pleased to see you. Can I help you with something? I was more imagining I could help you. I can see your journey to me has not been easy, he says with genuine concern. You track his eyes across your body, noticing scuff marks on your thick, vinyl-like skin and replaced and broken parts of your body, the marks of violence. You pull your jacket a little tighter. Jean-Mi folds his hands one over the other and places them on the counter. I do not know what your experiences have been, but I want to assure you that I see you as a person, a being, a soul, shall we say, as valid as any other. You look at Jean-Mi, his own age and wear also evident. A life of precise and careful work, shaping his body into a reflection of his process. You note his unconfident way of speaking, which betrays a certain loneliness, a lack of practice. It is his turn to feel observed. I understand. You are kind. The frankness of the remark takes you by surprise. He looks down at his counter and begins to take apart a tiny piece of machinery that sits there. Many years ago, when I began my apprenticeship, I would find that whenever I saw something that, how to say, was not working well, I fixated on it and its repair. He tinkers with the parts, twisting them precisely. Of course, the belt is filled with this kind of dysfunctional detail. And so I was busy for many years with these small fixings. He smiles and reminisces. But now I find that when I'm interested in a thing that is not working as it should, he sharply twists one of the parts between his fingers, it is because it might have some quality not yet foreseen or discovered. He releases the altered object into the air, where it balletically twists in a hypnotic display, like a spinning top whose movements are totally unpredictable. Jean-Mi smiles at you, watching his hypnotic toy. I can see that you are in a process of becoming a sleeper. He catches the spinning toy between a finger and a thumb. Let me aid you in this. What do you mean? Jean-Mi's precise hands drop to a device around his neck. He deftly pulls a pair of goggles up to his face, masking his wet eyes. Hold still, sleeper. Something flickers inside the goggles, their face blank. Jean-Mi's hands play across buttons and switches on the exterior, tuning, focusing. Let it work. When the goggles are finally lowered, they reveal a look of concern on Jean-Mi's face. I think you better come inside. He ticks off from his desk and disappears. A moment later, you hear a rattle, and a small bulkhead door beside the booth that you had assumed was rusted shut creaks open. Jean-Mi beckons you inside. Jean-Mi's workshop is even more cramped than you expected. As you enter, you are surrounded on all sides with netting, holding bundles and bundles of terminals, servers, drives, and cables. At its center, a padded seat and a set of articulated arms mounted with sensors and tools fill the space. The seat, please. Jean-Mi gestures at it with a polite smile. What are you going to do? Not to worry, I only wish to examine you. It is non-intrusive. You tentatively settle on the seat, slipping your arms and feet into the straps meant to keep you from floating out in zero-G. Jean-Mi floats beside you. He looks across your body. There is damage here, I see that. We will get to that. But I see something else here as well. This is why you came. He looks at you solemnly. Yes. Though I have never met a sleeper, I have studied them. I was lucky to acquire some materials from Essenarp some time ago. In the interest of my own endeavors, he begins arranging a series of sensors around you on articulated arms. You are pleasingly distinct from those materials. His eyes flash with excitement. Am I right in thinking you have been modified? Why do you ask? You are physically modified, not externally, but internally. He carefully positions the final sensor. Your tracker is disabled, which makes it impossible for Essenarp to find you. Congratulations. He smiles broadly. But this is not all. You've been modified, yes, but you are also being modified as we speak. You feel a strange claustrophobia at Jean-Mi's statement. Modified? Seraphin rebooted your system, ran the recording protocol, but that shouldn't have physically changed you. It only removed your planned obsolescence. How? Jean-Mi goes to a terminal and flicks a switch. Through the back of the translucent screen, you see a nodal web in the vague shape of a sitting body, your body. These changes appear to be complex, subtle but consistent. Jean-Mi goes silent as he taps at the terminal, the representation of your body rotating and unfolding in unsettling motions. How is this happening? How is a good question. He squints. How, I am unsure of. See here? He points at a flickering representation of your spine, tracing a line towards your head. Your nervous system is growing additional nodal points here and here. Meanwhile, your emulation interface is growing an umbilical access port. Though towards what end, I am unsure. You instinctively reach back and touch the base of your head. As you do, the scan flickers and screeches with no. You feel for something there, growing under your thick vinyl skin. And you feel a lump Or is that just your imagination? You pick at it. Jean-Mi sighs and shuts off the terminal. The changes are partial and, in all honesty, he gestures sharply at the sensors, the resolution is too poor. I need to run a full diagnostic, but for that I would need... He drifts over to another terminal and brings up screens and screens of text and diagrams. Yes, some kind of medium to hold your suspended emulation. The access jack I can build myself, but we will need to bridge your emulation. Jean-Mi speaks quietly, almost to himself. A ship mind would be ideal for this. Would have to be high capacity, a prime ship mind. Solheim in origin. Perhaps Hellion Gate might hold records of any that were in the system. He taps at the terminal. Jean-Mi turns back to you. Yes, the prime ship might is essential if you wish further investigations to be done. I will need this above all. He tumbles the terminal off. I am sorry to say, Sleeper. Can you tell me more? Accurately, no. He mashes his fingers in front of his chest. It is clear that a process has begun, but has yet to complete. Jean-Mi busies himself with taking down the sensors and folding away the articulated arms. As he does, you try to calm yourself. You feel as if you have worms under your skin, and it takes all your focus not to pick at its seams. Jean-Mi suddenly but gently places a hand on yours. Please, remain calm. He puts a carefully restored rare component in your hand. This can help you. Jean-Mi waits for you to fall still. Then he leans back a little, relieving some of the strange intimacy of the moment. For now, our work is concluded. He meshes his fingers again and bows with a small head bob. But you are welcome any time. Thank you. Of course. His manner seems to have returned to something more businesslike, a humble man who knows his customers' needs. You get up from the seat, a little dazed, and push away into the passage. Safe travels, Sleeper, Jean-Mi says quietly, placing the promised list in your hand as he lets you back into the station. You leave dazed, unsure of how you feel about the insistence of this man's particular kindness, but most of all haunted by the idea of unseen processes that are running within you. I feel like we've unlocked a new clock counter, and I don't think I like it. Part of you does not wish to know anything further, to leave this place and never look back, and another is desperate to immediately retrieve every object on this list so that you may know what strangeness is happening within you. For now, you must steady yourself and find a way to continue. Seraphine comes to find you in your bunk. After Jean-Mi's assessment, you find yourself drifting back to the rig, in need of the familiarity and comfort of your own ship. Sleeper, he drifts in. You found an artificer. He hovers by the door, looking concerned. Explain. You tell him about Jean-Mi, how he offered you repairs and ran an assessment of your frame. You describe the cramped booth, the articulated arms, the strangeness of seeing your own body anatomized upon the terminal screen. Then you tell him that your body is changing, growing in ways Jean-Mi cannot identify, that some process has been started and you do not know where it will end. You mention umbilical ports and nodal points, trying your best to remember the details of the things Jean-Mi asked you to retrieve. Seraphine grows pale and silent. He shakes his head when you stop talking. Lane, he frowns. That piece of shit has to be behind this. Perhaps. For sure. Seraphine looks stubbornly at the floor. We'll get what you need. We'll find that ship mind, he nods. Bit of work here and there, and we can make it to Hellion Gate and wherever else. What about your stuff? We'll do that too. He thumbs the wall. We're free, Sleeper. No one can stop us. Just say the word, okay? He goes silent. Don't give up on yourself just yet, he smiles. Get up and get back to it. And with that, he turns and kicks off down the corridor, disappearing from sight. You wait a little while, staring at the stained ceiling of the bunks, letting the thoughts settle in your mind. And then, when you are ready, you get up and and leave, dazed, but with a stony determination growing in your chest. And we've uncovered the interrogator officers and old Takai. What's at the interrogator offices? We can do flotsam maintenance. Probably gain some money. Flotsam integration. Gonna get us some money. We can buy engine components. And at Old Takai, we can work the hydroponics. We can buy supplies. We can fill supplies. Okay, so one place for fuel and the other place for supplies. But right now we just need fuel. So we're going to fuel up for 24 credits. And do we have a new drive? Diagnose your frame. Locate a ship at Hellion's Gate. So let's take a look at the map. Hellion is, if I recall, Hellion is all the way at the bottom, right? Oh, Hellion Gate is on the opposite side. Oh, so it's not great. We can get there right now. We're going to fly over to Hellion Gate now. And then, where should we go and find Seraphin's sister first? We promised that. We'll get the drive. We could still spend some time here making money. I don't see any clock, counter, timer, or whatever that is urging us to go faster because of whatever is growing inside us. So I guess that's just plot points. Oh wait, we found something else. We found Jean-Mi's boots. Oh yeah, okay. Which we need to give him the prime shipment. So let's continue working for 2 more cycles here. 3 more cycles actually. And then head over to the place. Let's go in the cycle. So let's work at... Was there work to do at Old Takai? Yeah. Old Takai is the oldest ship in Flotsam and now serves as a huge hydroponic farm, keeping the station alive. Shifts are always available. That's Endure. Never mind. We're bad at Endure and will always be. So let's see what jobs we can take at the interrogator office. Flotsam maintenance into it, or Flotsam integration into it. Both work for us. So Flotsam needs constant work to keep it sealed and safe. The interrogators are volunteers and can always use some help. All right, let's help them out. Positive outcome. You work with a couple of interrogators on replacing an entire unit. When done, they let you take a little scrap as thanks. Cool. Let's do some Flotsam integration. Integration means meshing systems as well as scrap. The integrators... Oh, it's not the interrogators. I was wondering why. No, it's the integrators. The integrators will pay for anyone skilled with meshing networks. Okay, let's mesh some networks. See what it does. You learn how to teach Flotsam systems how to speak to each other in translation and refactoring. It's satisfying work. Let's try again because we might see what the positive outcome nets. Raw scrap. Did we get raw scrap on the other one as well? I think so. You work to integrate a new life support filter into the wider system. The other integrators are impressed and give you some spare scrap. Okay, now we can go back to the ship and make a meal. Oh no, that takes supplies. Never mind. So we'll just keep working at the integrator's office, not the interrogator's office. Okay. Ooh, negative outcome. Flotsam is a difficult patient. You finished the shift, but you aren't sure you achieved anything but exhausting yourself. Well, at least we got some money out of it. Let's do some more integration. Neutral outcome. Alright. And now we're starving. Let's spend some of that money at the narrow escape. Buy a meal. Make a purchase. And take a nap. Okay, we're gonna do this over again. There's nothing to approach here. Oh yeah, let's just make some more money. Just to be on the safe side. Lots of maintenance. This is gonna be 100% positive. Boom. Raw scrap. Some more integration. 50% chance of positive. Neutral. Fair enough. Some more integration. Neutral. And some more. Neutral. And some more. Alright. That just made us some money. One more cycle, and then we'll move along. More integration. We have a 100% success rate. Oh, I'm just realizing we're at 0 glitch right now. Good too. Alright. Let's do some more. 50% chance of positive. Nice. Do some integration. Let's do some more. And a last one. I made some good money now. Yep. And because we did, let's just buy an engine component. Because you never know. I don't think we have engine components right now. We have Solheim data. We have raw scrap. Oh, we do have. Oh, so the engine. No, the rare components. We do have engine components. Okay, then we don't need this. We can just go back to the rig and move along. Let's fill our bellies first, though. And move along. Because flying to Hellion Gate is going to be expensive. Alright, we're flying over to Hellion Gate. Confirmed. And then this is where we are going to continue next time. This is fun. We have lots of things to do. We need to be wary of Eugen because who knows what he's up to. Yeah, but exciting. Hellion's Gate next. Try to find that component to figure out our health issues, and then we're going to go find Seraphine's sister, because I think that's another pressing matter right now. We shouldn't let him leave him hanging for longer than necessary. So next Saturday, same time, same place. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, please leave a like if you watch it this far. Leave a comment because that helps with the video being pushed to more audience. If you like what I'm doing, consider subscribing. I've created a playlist, and every new video goes up on that playlist right away. If you want to watch the video as soon as it goes live on YouTube, hit the notification bell so that you get informed. And if you're watching this on Twitch, you're much appreciated. Say hello in chat. I'll be sure to give you a shout out, or at least say hi, and we can have a little bit of a conversation about the game. And for now, to my YouTube viewers, thank you, and happy time zone. I will see you in the next one. And for the people watching on Twitch, I will now switch to the end card where we are going to find ourselves a raid. Take care, everyone.